Welcome to the Yellow Trumpet. I'm Chituga, and today our topic is a flourishing federation. A flourishing federation. Nigeria, as you know, is a constitutional democracy, and the federation made up of 36 states and a federal capital territory. Within these 36 states housed over 200 million persons, 200 million hopes, 200 million ideals. Within this federation is housed valuable natural resources from gold, lithium to oil and gas. Within this federation is housed valuable natural, I would say organic resources from our flora to fauna. Yet in the midst of all this blessing, tell me why we have reports saying that about half of us live in abject poverty. Tell me why we have, in the midst of this poverty, a Senate spending 46 billion on renovation. Tell me why we have a presidency spending 5 billion on a boat. Are these the priorities? Are these our priorities? Well, for me they are not. But I am not in government. So it is those who are in government that will define what the priority of the nation is. And if you wish to have a flourishing federation, then be mindful of those who you consider. Because I will advise, do not just settle on a particular choice, but to consider your choice and weigh it against your current circumstance. This, I say, sounds common sense, but it is lost at the moment it is needed the most. But here is what we can do. Do you know yourself? Do you know what you want? Do you know why you want what you want? Or are you just mimicking what you have seen? A senator buys 100 exotic cars, so you want 100 exotic cars. A governor builds 30 mansions in 30 states, so you want 36 mansions in 36 states. At what point does the national interest come in? What, in fact, is the national interest? Is it for a few to continue to make a handsome kobo to the detriment of the majority, where workers work and are exploited ruthlessly and are still owed their salaries that can barely last them 2 months, which will in fact be used to offset debts that they have incurred? Where is the federation flourishing? In the pockets of the minister who organized seminars for loads of millions, seminars for improvement of the nation. Well, one thing I can say is these seminars, I will not tell you that they are bad, but I can tell you it is not the purpose of government. Talk is not the purpose of government. It's not the reason you were voted in. If people wish to watch a talk show, they will use YouTube. If people wish to watch a talk show, they will use their cable television subscriptions. So what is a flourishing federation? A flourishing federation is a nation like Nigeria, whose people understand their common purpose, understand their common ties, appreciate their differences and know that if they harmonize their efforts, they will yield bountiful results. A flourishing federation is a nation where starvation is a matter of choice. Where going to work is not the requirement for feeding, but being alive is the said requirement for feeding. I own what I own and the state allows it. But if I am a thief, if I steal from you, if I hoard up all these possessions and deprive its circulation in the economy, have I flourished? Am I flourishing? Of course, I can spend as much as I want on whatever I want, for whom I desire to favor. But have I flourished? Is my favored flourished? These questions require a thoughtful answer. They require us to sit back and weigh our options. Why is it in a nation where our law says that primary education should be free, that secondary and tertiary education should be free, why is it that we are required to pay? Now there are student loans. How much was voted into student loan? The fund, 5 billion naira. In the same vein, 46 billion was voted for the renovation of the National Assembly. 5 billion was voted for the procurement of a yacht, a presidential yacht. For a federation to flourish, for this federation to flourish, we need to align our priorities. Whose priority are we aligning? The priority of the richest man in the state who happens to be, or who would tend to happen to be, the governor, or the millions that voted him in order to have a better opportunity at life? Well, this is what I can say, that you are not in control of the decisions of any politician, and they have already been elected. Court cases have come to a close, and now it is time for governance. It is also time for you to be aware, to pay attention, to not complain, but be attentive. What is happening in the nation? What are we expecting from our elected officials? What are we expecting from this government? Definitely, we do not expect to suffer. But a situation where the purchasing power is reduced and the tax liability is increased, who bears this burden? It is we, the individuals that celebrate when we bring these men into power. We are responsible for the non-flourishing of our nation. Have I said that every politician is evil? I haven't said so. Have I said that every person in government is terrible? I have not said so. I have said that our greed, our desire for more and more and more wants that we do not need, has stifled our growth. We claim Nigeria is complex. It is, but it is simple to a degree. And that degree is amazing. Give Nigerians what Nigerians want. What Nigerians need, rather. How can we still be complaining of roads? How can we still be complaining of water now? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But for the purpose of impoverishing people and economically dominating them in order that they get your support for as long as you can sustain the act is the reason we are not flourishing. Try making that choice. Try saying that statement without that desperation in mind. You really like this person. You really feel he is the one. Why? For a cup of rice? You think he is the one to lead your future. Calm down. Calm down. We've been through this. We've experienced it. There is no need for rush. There is no need for panic. You say he is good. Well, then put it to the test. What are his values? What is her value? What does she or he say that will be done? What is their antecedents and how do they conduct themselves? You see why you cannot or may not be able to affect the choices that they make. You are in supreme control over the choice you make. Let nobody on election day tell you that you are wasting your vote because you are exercising your franchise, exercising your option. The word is election. It means choice. And so you're making a choice. Let nobody tell you you are wasting your vote. In fact, you are wasting your vote when you vote a certain choice that is sure to cause you pain. But we should not avoid pain. We should not run from pain. We are Nigerians. We are strong people. But we should not suffer our pain. We should not let fear of it influence our decisions. Fear of failure, fear of poverty, influence our decisions, cripple our faculties, and limit our possibilities. We deserve better as a federation. As a federation of many nations, our potential is yet to be met. We may celebrate sports and entertainment, but real value, things, food that we can eat as a people, that I eat yam and I am not hungry anymore, that before I go to work, I have food to eat, that the next meal is not dependent on the work I do. Nigerians look for work to do. Nigerians love to be busy. So food should not be their motivation to work, but rather the need to satisfy their human urgings, which is to create an impact in this life. I know this federation will flourish given the right conditions. The right condition being your decision to slow down, to listen to all that has been said on the news, all that is being said on the streets, and to weigh it with your present situation, your condition, to ask, if I vote this man, if I make this choice, do I flourish? Does my family flourish? Does the land flourish? If it does, well, thank God for that. This is the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga. Take care.